Hello and welcome to Stretford, Paddock. I'm joined by Joe and Mckola. We're gonna go through what exactly went wrong with Manchester United today.
I'm not sitting here for fucking 4 hours. Jesus.
I know. We have to break it down. Even if we broke it down in real time, it wouldn't be 4 hours. So we've got a minute. We're gonna go through the key moments today. What led to Manchester United's terrible loss at home. But before we do that, Adam, I've not spoken to you properly about the game yet. You think it's done?
Put a fork in him. It's done.
Ten Hag.
Sorry to say again. It's sad. It's a sad state of affairs. But today was I needed to see something today. A result, a performance, both. Ideally, we didn't get either. All right, on the face of it, 10 men. Of course you're going to lose against a half-decent side. But even before we went down to 10 men, we were playing like we had 9 men. Couldn't pass wind. Couldn't string a couple of passes together. Everybody looked nervous. Everybody looked useless. The only one that comes out of it with any credit is probably Andre Onana.
Yeah.
Outside of that, like even Mazraoui, who I think's been standout this season, was real bad. It was weird as well because I seen Bruno playing, and he was on the edge all game. He was like directing traffic. Trying to come on lads, like you come here, makes me feel like people weren't doing basics of what they were told. When your captain's like, come on, like,
telling you
where are
you
going? Like, go on, go there, go. And we've not got a bad team. I don't want to hear anything about injuries or who's injured. Malacia and Shaw.
Yeah.
All right, fucking hell, they're always injured. If you can't get over that one, then I'm sorry to say you're fucked. You know what I mean? We had literally everybody you could think of, and they all look bad today. And we've got a good team like Garnacho, Ahmad, Rashford, Xerxes, Højlund. Take your pick. Should be performing better than that. The midfield. Was that his first start who got here today?
In the Premier League, yeah.
It's not looking good, bruv. All right. All of us were shit. It was a disjointed performance. It was disconnected. Everything was poor, yeah. But he doesn't look like a player to me. Everything just went for him. There was an attack. It was apparently the leading tackles in Ligue 1 last season.
I think
I don't think I've seen him win a tackle since he got here.
No.
I'm not blaming him. He's not to blame at all. But boy, oh boy, that performance was crap, man. Yeah. Just everything about it was. There was no. Against Liverpool, you went, you know what? First 30 minutes looked good. Then we made a few mistakes and they 2-0 up. What are you going to do? Brighton, there was some semblance of a performance. You could kind of grasp at something. Fulham. Palace even.
Palace were good.
But there's nothing good about what we're seeing at the moment. And it's the start of the season. Like, if that was the end of the season, you've got nothing to play for, we've got nothing to play for. I can kind of see it, but... And the crowd tried. They really tried at some points to kind of G everyone up and get going. It's a hard sell.
Especially the third. You conceded in the 3rd minute. That's going to kill you.
Both halves.
I mean, let's get into that
both
first
halves
goal.
We conceded after a couple of minutes.
Let's get into the first goal. So this is where we found ourselves on the ball. That is a decent position to be in. You've got Garnacho overlapping Rashford, then you've got 2 sort of men on the left-hand side as well, Xerxes, and I think that's Dallo, I think it's Dallo out there. You're in a decent spot there until the sort of heavy touch / pass from Rashford gives the ball away. And from here, even there, it doesn't look like we're fucked. Do you know what I mean? Garnacho could have got the ball.
It's so narrow.
It is narrow, but you've got space. You've got width over on the left-hand side. You've got people coming, 2-on-1 here on this side with Van der Ven, with Garnacho and Rashford, because Rashford here gets away from Udogie there, which is obviously good. You've got this space here, and from this point on, United should be able to force a 2-on-1 down this side, and instead a heavy touch leads to Van der Ven getting the ball here, and even then from there,
is that the goal?
This is their goal. There's no reason from this point. Let's see that from this point here, you should not be conceding a goal where this guy runs 75 yards up the pitch and squares the ball
and
on
I
the goal
watched
line.
it in real time, because he progressed with the ball, and obviously he's quite quick. But when you kind of see it, it's very slow. Like when you're watching it, it's like, oh my God, this is developing.
Yeah.
And Van der Ven kind of trotted into the half and then thought, oh my God, no one's closing me down here. No one's closing me down. Everyone kind of went, is that your man? Is that your man? Is that your man? Like, we made it a basketball game for them.
Yeah, we did.
That's exactly what they wanted.
I mean, and if you look here at this one as well, so this is to the point now where he's going past Ugarte, he's going past Mazraoui. Even here, I know he's got this space to run into, but even here, this isn't a situation where you go, yeah, he's definitely going to score here. If Dillick can push him down the side, you've got Lissandro and you've got Dalot and you've got Brennan Johnson here making the sort of equal run. Between them, we should be able to cover that run. And instead, obviously, he gets to the goal line, gets past Mazraoui, gets past Dillick, and then here again where he squares it, I don't know if Dalot stopped running. Dalot's here. I don't know if he stopped running or if he's just not bothered. But now you've got this gap between Dalot and Brennan Johnson. And obviously, if the cross is well placed, which it was, perfectly placed, the ball's going in the back of the net. I mean, if we go back a little bit.
We let a man named Brennan score a goal.
If you go back to here, look. Dalot and Johnson are within a couple of yards of each other. Martinez is looking over his shoulder as well. You see Martinez in the middle there. He's looking at the danger at that back post. Dalot's with the man. And then you go from that to that. And they're tapping the ball in at the back of the back post with Dalot nowhere to be seen with his hand in the air like he's going, yeah, lads, that one's on me. Would you think they just got shell-shocked? Obviously, Van der Ven's quick, but that's more about momentum and work rate, and United's kind of taking their foot off a little bit because he's got to run past 5 players.
It's 3 minutes into the game. That's all I can... It's 3 minutes into the game. Go and fucking put one on someone.
Yeah.
Go and stick something like just... It was just to me, no, you deal with it. No, I'll deal with it. No, you deal with it. All right, no one deal with it. Go.
Let's move on to a little chance United had. Garnacho hitting the post at 1-0 at this point. This is pre-red card. This is one of those moments where if this ends up in the back of the net, maybe we're talking about a different game. But the performance was so poor that it probably wouldn't have mattered anyway. So the cross comes in, and United, you said about the width in the first one, they've kept the width really well here. You've got Garnacho in this, this box of space at the back post.
This is the one that hit the post.
This is the one that hits the post. So he's got all the space. We've stretched Tottenham out well. Rashford puts a brilliant ball in with his left foot. The ball's come in, and again, it's a tricky position to hit it from, but he gets a really nice contact, Garnacho, and the ball just hits the post.
At that moment, first of all, Garnacho's unlucky.
Yeah.
He's had a good effort, so I'm not criticising him. But every shot he takes, it has to be the perfect. That didn't require a fucking smash it on the volley job.
Yeah.
How many yards out? Go back to that picture.
6.
7 yards out.
6, 7 yards out.
It doesn't require you to fucking leather it. Requires side open and foot out and just maybe a little hit.
Yeah.
And it results in one of the greatest goals I've ever seen at Everton. But I think he has got that in him where just correct, you don't need to smash that.
You don't need to leather it every time.
But it was one of our very, how many chances we have? I don't think we had many.
No.
Casemiro had one, probably should have scored from when he came on. He was kind of very similar to that actually. He kind of trotted to the back post, found a cross.
But he did the side foot thing across goal, didn't he, that you're kind of referencing, and it almost went in. But I mean, that chance, we were trying to find chances for the first half, and they were just so few and far between.
But it's just pointless even I know because we're doing this show, we kind of got to find something to talk about. Yeah. The football from Manchester United was just not good enough today. In every aspect, we weren't connecting with each other. The passing was abysmal. I don't even know what's going on. What is the idea? And some people one of the things with Ten Hag is we're always open. So that's kind of part of his game plan. Yeah. So now you're requiring Ugarte to be absolutely impeccable.
Ronnie said this before the game. He said that the way our tactics are and the way we set up, that DM position is always going to be pushed to its very limits. You almost have to have the best DM in the world in that spot for it to work. You're putting so much pressure on a Casemiro or a Ugarte or whoever it is, because especially in games like this, we've not seen it as much this season, but in games like this where they're so exposed and you get given the ball from the defence and go on then, make us an attack, and you have to be able to stop the opposition from attacking when they have the ball. It's such a high stress, high sort of demanding position. We've got Ten Hag, you mentioned Ten Hag, from his post-match press conference talking about his job security. So let's have a listen to what Erik Ten Hag said about his future at United.
Do you worry that the owners may have a different view, that they may feel the only way that this situation can improve, that the team can get better, is with a different manager in charge?
No, I'm not thinking about this. I think we all made in togetherness this decision to stay together as an ownership, as a leadership group in the summer, and also we made the decision also from a clear review and what we have to improve as an organization, and how we want to construct the squad. And they're all decision making in togetherness, but we knew that it would take some time because we how the window went. Some players late in, like now Ugarte, we have to integrate him now. Also, we had to make some improvement in organization. We still have to do with some injuries, also from impact players, and I think we will get better there. And yeah, we need some time, and we all there on one page, on one boat together. The ownership, the leadership group, the staff, and the players group as well. So no, I don't have that concern.
So you can see there, Ten Hag's, I wouldn't say bullish, but certainly defending his position as the boss, talking about how him and the leadership are on the same page. I guess those conversations took place before the game today. Did you said it before, but today felt a bit different, didn't it? Like it felt like
it's Sevilla.
Do you think?
I think Sevilla was the moment where I knew Mourinho was finished. And obviously it lasted for a bit after that, didn't it?
Yeah.
And there's moments with every manager where you go, they're done. They're done. Was it Watford for Ollie?
I think that was his last game. I think it was a Liverpool 5-0 for Ollie.
Yeah, that was yeah.
Where you sort of
and you know what it is? It's the start of the season. Before this game, we had 7 games. You only beat Fulham, Southampton, and Barnsley. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And now we played this one. Played 8 games this season, I think. Yeah. And to lose it in that manner, and for there not to be a performance, and there's no excuses of time, nothing to play. There's loads to play for.
Yeah.
And we just didn't play. We didn't look like a team out there. And we've got fucking good players, man. I genuinely think we've got a decent squad. So this performance has to be a lot better than this.
Speaking about good players, the captain.
He's been shit this season.
He's been poor this season. He's had loads of stick. A lot of people saying he should be dropped for this game. Then, and I'm not just blaming it on him because he was 42 minutes in, the tone of the match had already been set very much and it was a bad one. He gets sent off. Do you think it was a red card, first of all?
I don't think it was a red card. And I don't think... So, at half-time, well, just before half-time, I went down because I couldn't watch that shit anymore.
Yeah.
I very rarely go for a half-time pint at Old Trafford. And I did. And we watched, as I'd come out of the toilet, they had the red card, the goal, I wish. The red card was on the screen. And everyone watching it, I saw their reaction to it where they all went, oh, fuck off, that's not a red card.
Yeah.
So there was still, there's no excuses, people know it's been a shit performance, people know we deserve to be behind. There's none of that. Everyone just went, that's not,
Yeah.
And as he falls, he slips, which doesn't help.
Mm.
But then in his desperation, he sticks a leg out.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what's got him sent. You're giving the referee a decision to make. He knew he weren't getting the ball. He just sticks his leg out to stop. He's trying
to trip Maddison, isn't he? I think if you look here,
and it's a daft. But you know what I feel is happening with Bruno. I think Bruno is one of those players who maybe feels like he's wasting some time at Man United, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like he should be leading. Like he should be playing for teams that are winning the big boy trophies, or at least going for it. Personally, that's how I feel about.
Yeah,
Bruno.
yeah. Is that quality?
Good.
Yeah.
And I think he just there's times where you looked at it, like I mentioned earlier, with him kind of directing people. I think he's getting frustrated with the way the team's performing. I think he's looking around, he's seeing players not playing for another manager maybe. And I think he's just getting frustrated, and then it kind of boils up into this kind of shit. And his performances that you're seeing. Look, he's been crap. If he didn't start today, I'd go, I kind of understand it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I kind of understand it, but I feel like maybe that's what we're seeing from Bruno, where he's kind of like, this is happening again. And you can criticise Bruno, but for sure he cares.
Yeah.
And for sure he wants to be fucking successful at United.
I agree with everything you've said, and I agree that he's not playing well at the minute. But that still doesn't make this a red card. I know you're not saying it does, but I almost feel like some people are saying, oh, well, he's been shit for ages now. Of course, he's been. Of course,
so like someone just said he's been shit for 2 years. No way.
No, that's ridiculous. But I mean, you look at
he's been shit this season.
Look at where the contact is. I mean, this is, I think, a frame before the contact, but Bruno's foot only gets lower. The contact is midway up the shin. It's not knee. It's also the outside. It's the outside of Bruno's foot. It's not studs on knee. It's the outside of his foot on Maddison's shin, with no weight behind it. Look at the way Bruno's body is. He's basically doing the splits. There's no look at that. He's not like foot flying in behind.
Look at that now. That one. Look where the ball is when he makes contact.
I get it, but to me it's
the way he's made contact.
Yeah, it's
giving the ref
unorthodox.
It's almost like an orange, like it's almost like it's so stonewall of a yellow. It makes you think, whoa,
it might
is
be
that
red.
more?
Because if you look there, you can see obviously through his sort of armpit there. You see the contact is with the outside of Bruno's foot. The studs are facing this way, and they aren't hitting Maddison. To me, it's just not a red. And I know that it's
irregardless of the red card. We lose like that,
Maybe we do, but we can't say that.
I think we come back in that game. We were just shit.
We were absolutely horrendous.
Pass the ball. We couldn't link up with each other. Like that. Even if let's say he doesn't get sent off, we scab a 1-1, or we lose 2-0. I'd still feel the same way about the performance. The red card didn't impact the way I feel about that performance.
No, but if we do get a 1-1, we can maybe go, terrible day at the office, but regrouped, got a draw. We need to see improvement next few games. Instead, this feels like we said before, maybe a sort of pivotal moment in Ten Hag's career. Let's move forward then to what obviously sort of sealed the game in the end. And it was the third goal for Tottenham.
There was also a handball that I thought could have been a penalty,
The Romero one.
Yeah, maybe his hand was in like more of a natural position, and it was quite close.
I think last season that would have been given.
That could have been a penalty.
If that's last season, that's a penalty, I think.
We're crying over spilt milk. We deserve to lose.
Yeah,
and we probably deserve to lose more. If Spurs were actually on it, it's 4-5.
The third goal here then, set piece to Tottenham. I think that's Solanke there at the back.
He's just the one that kind of nods down into the 6-yard box.
Yeah, he's unmarked. And for the remainder of this clip, for the remainder of the goal, he remains unmarked. You see there, Martinez, it's hard to sort of get the zoom right on this, but Martinez is with his man here. You see Mazraoui is with this man. And there in the middle is an unmarked Dominic Solanke running through the middle of our defence.
That's Delot again, maybe?
That's Delot at the back. But again,
or is that Delot speaking to Mazraoui and nudging him on? But then you've also got, look how many players are on the front post.
Yeah.
That's Rashford there, challenging at the front post, right?
Yeah, I think so. No, Casemiro, I think. 18.
So who's next to him?
That's De Ligt, and then Martinez, and then Mazraoui, and then Dalot.
Who's on the edge of the box over there? Have they gone over there for the short one? Like, why is there so many people on that side of the goal?
Yeah, I don't know. Leaving a 3-on-3 in the middle. And obviously they've got Solanke, if we go back to this one, Solanke's got the momentum, because he's the one who's got a run up. Everyone else is stood still and he's got momentum.
I don't know why so many people... Yeah, it was a short corner. That's why someone's gone to the edge.
And again, here's something else to look at. You look at the start of this, look at the end here, where these guys are. This line of defenders here on the 6-yard line, Casemiro, De Ligt, Martinez, Mazraoui. At the start of it,
it's just brain dead stuff.
They're basically in the exact same spot.
Forget all this shit. It's just brain dead stuff.
Yeah.
We got about 4 or 5 men overcommitted on the front post. We got a couple of geezers marking who were outnumbered in the 6-yard box. That all comes down to organisation, and it's just quite simply not there, and you have to blame the manager.
We've got a few super chats as well. Ray Lannister says they both got exposed. Spurs were susceptible to our counter. The biggest difference is our players decided not to show up. Ten Hag should shoulder the blame, but the incorrect red card changed everything. I don't think it changed everything. I think it just cemented what was already happening. I don't think it made things worse, but it removed our chances of turning it around, I think. I'm not saying we would have, but I just think after that red card happened, there's no way we were going to win that game. Not that we look like winning it anyway. No, I'm not saying there was, but it removed any possibility of that. Sai says, Bruno's been no good like Amy Winehouse, but nothing will convince me that what you saw wherever you were, the pub, the gym, the stadium, home, etc., that what you saw there was a red. Yeah, I agree. It wasn't a red card. Sub N says he has consistently come second to other managers who are tactically astute. In the last 3 games, this has been an issue. We have seen Ten Hag at times sort of do things well tactically. The FA Cup final was a good example of that in particular. But do you think that this whole thing of, basically being outclassed by Tottenham?
I don't think that it was just easy for them today.
Yeah.
The only thing, when you suggest someone's been outclassed, you suggest they've had to think, you kind of suggest, they had to really think hard about it and they pulled something out of the bag.
Yeah.
Tactically, and it was amazing. Tottenham just turned up and we just bent over for a minute.
Horrendous.
That's the best bit of analysis you're going to get today.
Right, so that's a good place to end
the
it.
anal in analysis. Eh?
Man United have lost 3-0 to Tottenham, and that was why. See you in a bit.